Views expressed here are not supported by and do not reflect those of the Evening Rush Network. Viewers' discretion is advised.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
Yo, what's good? What's good? You already know what it is, man. Welcome
Hey, good evening.
man. It's your host, Chris and Don. What's going on, bro? You hear me?
Hey, how you doing? Good evening.
What's going on, bro?
Yeah, today was a beautiful day.
I think Chris got a delay.
I'm delayed?
Yeah, because I'm talking and you going after me. But what's going on, bro? How you feeling, yo? Welcome to Thoughts of a Man. It's the first day of the show. We gotta still work on a couple of things. You know, we just want to do a little introduction. You know, this is Chris and myself's new podcast that we want to get to know everyone.
Yeah,
Give our thoughts on different topics and things.
Yeah, today was a beautiful day. After all the rain we had the last 2 weeks, I felt like we were living in Seattle for a minute.
That's a beautiful thing.
Huh?
I said that's a beautiful thing, not a bad thing. I like Seattle.
Man, it was too much rain, man. Too much rain.
Yeah, the rain was a lot. But I'm used to it. So, you know, it's never bothered me.
Yeah, well, today was beautiful. It's crazy. You get a little bit of nice weather and everybody jump into shorts and chancletas.
All the time.
I'm like real fast. Even though you ever notice like in the wintertime people were wearing clogs?
Yeah.
Why, man? Why, like it's freezing cold and you got on clogs? Like what's up with that?
Yeah, nah, yo, I'm trying to understand. I think that's the new kid age thing. Everybody wearing that because I definitely saw my daughter wearing them the other day to go out and hang out. I was like, it's really good, but you don't fine. You need some shoes.
Yeah.
And she was just like, yeah, these are comfortable. I was like, oh, okay, must be some new age thing.
Well, I mean, it hasn't been that cold, but I'm talking about in the freezing cold, people were wearing clogs, man. Ice on the ground, clogs. Like, what happened to Uggs?
Yeah. Listen, like I said, I believe this has to definitely be the new age thing. Because I don't get it.
Yeah, I
I
started,
definitely don't get it.
and some of the clogs be busted too. I'm like, yo, you don't even got they don't even look like they busted, and you wearing them in the freezing cold. Is that bad, homie?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, so we started this new podcast. I'm excited to be here. Thoughts of a Man. We were kicking around some ideas, so we came up with Thoughts of a Man. Well, you had to, we just have thoughts as men, right? So it just fits the conversations we be having.
First of all, yes, I just want to shout out the originals, Thoughts of the Man, definitely Shaka and Dre. Um, you know, we started the Thoughts of the Man process, and you know, we decided it wasn't for us. Um, and we continue. You know, this is how we revamp and continue. New logo, new everything, and we make it do what it do.
Yeah. Well, it's just, when I approached Don, I was told we have a lot of conversations, and our conversations just, he's a father, I'm a father, being the head of a family, trying to take our family to new levels as men, and navigating the world, going through different situations and different scenarios. And we're two totally different people, but what we have in common is we love our family. And there's a lot of challenges as men that we face between trying to earn money, trying to discipline and raise our kids, and maintaining our relationships as husbands and in our households. And so we thought, like, it'd be a great show to connect. And also sometimes, I'm not gonna lie to you, it's stressful surviving and making sure you don't slip as the head of the household.
Yeah.
It's real.
I want to let them know that no way, shape, or form is this is about bashing women or anything of that nature, because it's not. It's just pretty much like you said, giving output of being great father, great husband, great men.
Right.
And who else? Who else can you look on to check you being a man, another man?
Yeah.
So this is what this show is definitely about. We're gonna definitely have guests. Show's gonna build. Y'all can call in, by the way, 929-282-0266, and support the show definitely. But this is what this is about, growing.
Yeah.
And just trying to build off of our situation.
Yeah, and we alike, but we different.
Yeah.
Don got the Wu-Tang. He got like what, 20 kids? You know what I'm saying? I got 2. But it don't mean I'm not facing what he facing or understand in general. And sometimes it takes a person to remind you, even though he has more experience because he's been raising kids since the 70s. But I'm just kidding. Nah, but sometimes, it's good to bounce off someone. And sometimes, it's real easy to like get caught up in dealing with, like, when you have so much going on and you putting out a fire, sometimes somebody need to tell you, like, yo, you need to check this out because you may have another fire on a come up. Or it's just good to have a village. Like, people say it takes a village to raise kids, but to me it takes a village to make a marriage and to make life work in general, period. Like, no person, like, we all need somebody to kind of check us, like to be our truth.
Definitely. There's times we have to check each other. It's easy to walk away from a lot of things without having conversation.
Right.
And it is what's going on, then just trying to make it work.
Right.
And that's one of the life lessons that we're gonna be learning during this journey and this podcast. And, a lot of things was different before. But, that's why I'm happy to make these transitions.
Yeah.
So just want to shout out everybody. Appreciate y'all all that's checking in and showing that love. So your thoughts, bro, on how things can change or get better in relationships?
Yeah. you know, it's funny when people take vows, or when you when you get committed, right? People get caught up in the ceremony, they get caught up in the materials, but
What's good, Envy? I see you on the check-in.
yeah, like,
Sorry.
the purpose to me was just like building my family, right? And creating a legacy. But the legacy is not just one thing. It's not just about money. It's not just, I wanted to instill values into my kids so that when they make their choices, that they can continue to install values in their kids. And to me, that's how you build legacy. Like, I don't want to dictate. I'm into real estate. I don't say, oh, you got to go into real estate. I want them to find their own path, but with values, with integrity, and understanding the power of choices, and also accountability.
Yeah,
because too many times today, people just don't want to be accountable for their part of when things don't work. When a relationship don't work, it's not because of one person. It's two people.
that's true. Um, one of the biggest things I learned is that accountability is one of the important things that we don't. There's times we slack.
Yeah.
If you're on Facebook, you know what I mean, show love, hit at highlights, at followers, share. That's the most you can ask is you share. But when was the last time you held yourself or something
Right.
going?
Right.
You know? The last time you sat there and just said, "Yo, I was wrong," and maybe if I would have moved this way or that way, it would have worked out a lot better.
Yeah, I'm married. I do it all the time now.
See, that's the thing. I think us as men don't know how to hold ourselves. Um, or let me rephrase that. It might be the other way around. We do hold ourselves accountable. Women don't like that.
See, I don't want to go there on women because we need a woman on the show.
No, not saying. Hold on, not bashing. Just saying it does feel that way sometimes. Like, try to turn your phone down a little bit so I got a little feedback. Just saying that, you know, we could sit here and say, I did this, I did that. Can I get a little for this?
Yeah.
And I think that's the hard part about a lot of that forgiveness stuff.
Well, I think, I was gonna like I think the most challenging thing as I feel in my life is when someone calls me out for who I am
Mm.
and really listening instead of fighting, because that bitter truth that person's giving me is not just my wife. It could be my mom. It could be somebody that don't even know me, but just sees my bullshit and calls me out, and it hits you so hard that you start maybe a little ignorant, a little belligerence, where you just want to, you want to curse somebody out. You want to slice them. Like I was seeing this happen the other day with somebody, and they heard some particular story about the way they were, and they came back like, yo, the old me would want to smack them or whatever, and blah, blah, blah. But it's still you don't need to say anything. Like when somebody, like, when you result to being physical and you want to attack somebody for calling you out, you can't unring that bell. That news you have to take into consideration. You have to listen to that, because if it touched you, that was the truth.
Yeah.
And I've learned the hard way that when you look in the mirror and see who you are, despite the messenger, it's the message. And you get that message, and you figure out how to deal with you, is only going to make you better.
Well, I mean, that's where it got to start. You take it. That's why I said you got to take some type of responsibility for your actions and what you do, you say in life.
Yeah.
I don't think we do that enough.
Huh?
I said I don't think we do that enough. We don't hold each other accountable.
Exactly.
I take it as people are just trying to well, us as men. You try to ignore it.
Right.
I mean, you sit there and go, listen, I'm not wrong. I mean, you got to be wrong and strong, and you're not taking responsibility. Try being a little more okay. Well, constructive criticism. There you go. You got to learn to take constructive criticism, and I
Nah,
think that's the problem.
and then also, like, there's levels. And if you keep running into the same level and it's everybody else, but it's not you,
Yeah.
you're gonna keep running into the same problem. You're gonna keep running. Like, I don't know about you. I know a couple of people that have been divorced 3 or 4 times, and they keep
Yeah.
making the same choices, the same decisions, running. And then it's like, no, it's her, it's this, it's that. But there's no accountability, no zero accountability. And then the moment we have a discussion and you try to talk to them, they don't call me no more. They don't want to talk about it. They want to, you know, they don't want to look in the mirror.
Why do you feel that's what it is?
You know, it's a lot easy to be. I'm not gonna lie. Being ignorant is real easy to just walk away from the truth, to not really just to keep it moving. And sometimes people just can't handle the responsibility that the truth comes with. That's just my opinion.
No, I definitely agree. Um, there's many occasions I've been that person. So, I thank God for the change of being around different people. I hope, um, stronger men. Being around them is just like that. But think about it this way: this is, you just going at it this way. Because I think I was more of the kick in the door dude versus the dude that wanted to literally try to conversate, have a conversation, try to make sure there's other options. And I think that's probably why I and now that I'm more laid back, more relaxed, that I feel like there's times I feel like people are coming at me,
Right.
you know. So I have to take it like with a grain of salt. Hey, I either have to brush it off or I can come back a little stronger. That's it. So
Right.
that's one of the biggest challenges we face. Um, this once again, this is all about growth. You
Right.
gotta grow. You know, I was talking to a 32-year-old, and he was like, and I told him how old I was. I was like, "Yo, bro, I'm about to be 50." He's like, "You're about 50?" Yeah, I'm about to be 50. Because the one thing I realized is people don't understand when you're at certain jobs. These kids, because I want to call them kids, they're in their 30s, their 20s, they're supervisors, they're managers, and they act their age.
Mm.
And we don't accept it.
Right.
You get angry, you're like, yo, this little dude talking to me crazy. But you have to realize, I can't believe you're the old dude at work,
Right.
even though you might look young. Like, both of us look like we're well in our 30s. I
Right.
want to say, out late 30s, early 40s. So, you know what I mean? For us to now be around, where 32-year-olds, our bosses look crazy to us.
Right.
Not only that, me and him was discussing. I was like, why what was the biggest problem with that is the simple fact that they retirement 65 years old. I mean, 60 years. If retirement was 56, 58, I think we would be living better lives. In my eyes. What is your
Right.
What's your thoughts on it?
My thoughts is I think if you work, if you can find employment that you enjoy, there's no reason to really retire. Like, you could work in different facets of life, but to me, retirement just feels like the next step to death, in my opinion. Like, I don't like that word
You
retire.
don't feel that living your lifetime where, oh, listen, I made it to 60, I'm retired, I can spend my money, I can go away on trips, I don't have to worry, I can take the wife and kids wherever they want. So I can start building, for me, a side business or something to keep me occupied versus
But
still working at 9 to 5 and and hurting your back, hurting your legs. Remember, you falling apart. You falling apart,
I
bro.
agree with you. I agree with you. Out of necessity and providing for our families, we all got to do what we have to do. But ideally, if I were to live the way I would love to live, I would want to do speaking engagements, travel across the country, meeting with different people. I love real estate, affordable housing. I would want to work in a facet, but I wouldn't want to retire. I wouldn't want to like work a job. I get what you're saying, but I would want to live and be of use and of service every day. I don't know. I've been on vacation, but I don't, after a couple of days, I'm bored.
See, that's the problem. That right there is the problem, bro. Boredom. People get bored too quick. Me personally, listen, once again, I'm tired of waking up 6, 7 in the morning, drop the kids to school, race to get to work by 9 o'clock. And it's like, yo, why can't I sleep at 11 o'clock? Then go to my business, open up my business, and make money.
But we
Not,
can.
yeah. No, we can, but we still have, got to do that. Some of us still got to do that 9 to 5 because we want to work for that retirement age. But we have no choice but to work for that retirement.
Right.
We can get our full benefits,
Right.
our full retirement plan, our full 401k, our full pension. You got to work those days. Work for that age. But after making it to that age, your body is so beat. And they keep pushing the goal line back. Remember, it was 65 at one time. It was 60, then it went to 65. Now it's 68. They keep pushing the goalposts back for you to retire and enjoy your life. At 68, how much of your life is left to enjoy?
Right.
You know what I mean? It's a lot to think about.
And again, as men, we face these realities of providing for our family, of living our life. And you know what's a scary statistic is how many men actually live a long life.
Yeah.
If you ever been to a retirement home or you see mostly women. The numbers are just like our numbers aren't too great as we get into advanced ages.
Yeah. So that's because we don't beat up our body and we work all our life.
Yep.
Body's beat,
Not
depending
only
on your
that,
job. If maybe if you're sitting at a desk working a 9 to 5, you're not as deep as someone that's doing retail or somebody that's working on cars or construction worker. You're
yeah,
not as deep. You know what I'm saying? Versus the dude that's sitting at a desk typing. But then you gotta wonder, he just probably got copper tunnel and all the other good stuff. But it's just
yeah, you're
a
right.
lot.
We are the laborers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I just wanna touch on that because like I said, me and this dude had a great conversation. And even though he's my super, he's only 32, and I'm looking at him, I created a ice two, two, and a lot of people don't even want to make that type of decision at 32.
Yeah.
And for him, he said, "I didn't do it for the money. I did it because I want to go with this company." And that shit shook my head. A lot of kids this age is like, like, yo, I'm just doing it for the bread, so I can be good. I ain't got to worry. I can buy cars. I ain't got no kids. I ain't got to worry. That became short process.
Yeah.
So I found it very interesting. I was like, yo, I wish more kids thought like this. And honestly, there's maybe a couple of young cats at my job that think like, and that's nothing. I'm just here to get a paycheck.
Right.
I'm not worried about how much work I'm putting. And that's the ones that make it harder for people that are doing what they're supposed to, but for the day they come to fruition.
Yeah.
You got, I definitely want to commend these young kids who push, be better. I mean, push to have a future, thinking about long-term goals,
Right.
where they want to see their future, which is being out in the street. You know, I was thinking about something new to start, which is a mentoring program. Um, definitely with guys sitting down, maybe starting something. So that's gonna work to be good about.
Yeah.
Definitely, I definitely do this, but I definitely still want to give back to my community. I want to invest it.
You know, it's funny when we were growing up, right? You're a few years older than me, but we in the same range. We had encyclopedias, right? We didn't have a cell like you had to really open a book, right? And you had to really read. Like now, you don't have to read anymore. You
Yeah,
got software read to you. So kids today have every advantage in terms of resources right in their phones.
mm-hmm.
And I would assume most of the world has phones because everywhere you look, everybody something happens, their phone come out.
Everybody has.
Everybody, so you have an unfair advantage to have to be to I want to start my own business. I want to like you just have all the tools at your fingertips. When we were coming up, we didn't have none of that.
Yeah, yeah, and the bad part is think about it. You know,
Yeah,
how many times, we didn't have the luxuries of growing up where we could sit there and say, listen, let's start a 20 minutes.
yeah,
Let's learn about the stock market.
right.
25. We didn't have those luxuries. We was just taught to go to school, go to college, graduate college, be successful. How? Work a
And
9 to 5. And it's funny
not
that you brought up the encyclopedia because not to get off topic, but my wife found the dictionary. She said to my daughter, "This is how me and your father used to find words and learn how to spell." And it was funny because she said, "Let me find apple." So as she's going to apple, my daughter goes, "Okay, Google, what's the definition of apple?" See, look,
yeah.
okay, Google, stop. See how we animated. So, and that's see, this is what I go through in my house. My house is automated. So understand when I sit here and say this is our friend, Alexa is our friend, Siri is the kid's friend. It this is what the kids come to,
Right.
you know. And I'm trying to even though we want to take it back a little bit to understand that listen, you gotta work. This is the harder way to work to get to what you wanted, but it's where you need to go.
Right.
They still, like you said, everybody got phones.
And then and we had TV. We only had what 5 6 channels, if that. Like we didn't have a lot of
13,
channels.
we had we had channel 2, channel 4, channel 7,
Yeah,
channel
11,
9, channel 11, channel 13.
then 13. Yep,
13 was the educational channel. And that
yep.
was all before cable. So we didn't have the luxury of cable and we had 100 and something channels. No, these are all the channels we had. And we had to go, remember, and your mom wanted you to watch that at channel 13.
Right.
I don't know, like me, my mom used to be like, listen, when you come home from school, watch channel 13 for an hour. So you go outside. And I was like, okay. But you had the good cartoons that used to sneak.
Mm-hmm.
Because then you had G.I. Joe, you had Transformers, you had Voltron. So you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yo, let's take a quick break. We'll be right back. You already know it's Thoughts of a Man, man. Let's go.
Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your girl, Chrissy, here to let you know that the Evening Rush Network now has an app. Yes, an app, you guys. So you can stay connected on the go and watch all your favorite podcast shows. You can download the app at Google Play Store or Apple iTunes. So spread the word. Tell a friend to tell a friend. Also, if you're looking to start a podcast and really don't know how, well, hit us up at the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com and inquire about time slots, pricings, and everything you may need to get started. We got you. Join the winning team, the Evening Rush Network. And also, download that app. What are you waiting for? Get to it.
You're now listening to the Evening Rush Network.
All right, we back.
Yes. Chris was gone. Hold it down for 2 seconds. Let me run out and come back in.
All right. Yeah, I guess Don gonna be right back. So if you out there, call up. Give us a call. We hit any subject that we spoke about in the first half that touched you. Please reach out. Let us know what you think. Yeah. So growing up, my mom was a single mom, so most of my life lessons came from the streets. So I didn't really have a father figure in the house through, probably till I was like maybe 13 or 14. So we didn't have TV, no computers. We had encyclopedias. So, I would go out to the streets and everybody wanted to be a drug dealer because the drug dealers got it popping. They came with the nice cars. I played baseball, basketball, but basketball was everything. We even played on fire escapes. Basketball was God, right? But the money on the streets was the drug dealers were, they just come up with the nice cars. I remember when LL Cool J came out with that. This is the system. What man play that? He had some. I forgot the name of it.
System.
Yeah, the booming system. And then in high school, they blasting the music right outside the high school, and all the pretty girls were, they were gravitating into that system. So everybody wanted to be the man, but nobody wanted to be a doctor or a lawyer. Everybody wanted to be a drug dealer. Everybody wanted that money. And unfortunately, there's a price that you pay in the choices that you make that you don't even know that you're not sometimes you're so focused on wanting to get money and wanting to get clout and wanting to get certain things and achieve those things, but there's a price when you make these choices that you just they come with, like when you get the bad girl, you're getting more than just a bad girl. Like on TV, it looks cute, but in reality, there's actually more to that you don't see. You just see the outside, but then when you try to have a relationship or a commitment with that quote unquote bad girl, it may not work out too well because there's more to it. And the same thing with selling drugs or doing things that's illegal, or yeah, you get good money, but there's a price that you pay for that money.
I think back then it wasn't as bad. So me personally,
Huh?
thinking it wasn't. I said back then, me personally didn't think it was that bad. Having those situations
Yeah.
versus now, because I feel like now it's more deadly of a game. Um, People are out to hurt you. They don't want you to survive. So you're gonna get the worst of the worst. Plus, like now they're giving out football numbers for real, for real.
No, but you know what? See, here's the thing. We didn't have the news popping like it is now.
Yeah.
But a lot of people died. A lot of people, I mean, seriously, like very few people that were the person growing up, very few actually are alive to talk about it today. And if they're alive to talk about it today, they spent a half a decade in prison.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what I'm saying. Like, but this wasn't like we weren't privy. But if you really like to the information back then, you don't think about it because it didn't hit the news. It didn't. But I'm pretty sure you talk to people that were in that game. They took some losses. They took some losses, whether financially or people died around them.
Very true.
Because that game was super, super ugly, especially if you're going out of state and coming back. There are a lot of people that went out of state that never came back.
Well, like I said, once again, it's from a situation where you're dealing with growth, you know.
And then like back in the day, we didn't know Hollywood and we didn't know the music industry was so grimy. Everybody wanted to sing and dance and perform. Like when you get away from the drugs, then it's entertainment.
Oh yeah.
If we didn't have the information we have today.
Well, I mean, the game was a lot different. You know, your goal was to be signed to a record label. Your goal was to, you know, get that deal. Because once you had the deal, you had money.
Right.
You know, and the record companies were paying you what you were worth. Versus now, they don't pay you what you're worth. You're being paid a fraction of a penny. You know, if you're on any of these streaming platforms. So you're not getting a full dollar, or you're not getting 50% or a quarter of what you're worth. You're getting half a penny, and that's after you made all these crazy streams. But
well, here's the thing though. Back in the day, we used to think that if you were doing something a certain way, you were selling out. If you were too commercial, like MC Hammer he may have been the man in the West Coast. I didn't grow up out there, but in the East Coast, we weren't feeling him.
I didn't feel Hammer wasn't so. I never felt Hammer so that. I more or less felt Hammer was entertaining.
Right.
You had your own lane. See, that's the thing. You had your lane. You had commercial. You were either entertainer, you had a commercial, or you was an MC. And our MCs back in the day, they were very still. You know, Roxanne, very still. Roxanne Shante, very still. Or, you know, they came with lyricism, true lyricism. So it was a lot different. It was
Now, I think, okay, so, all right, I take it a step further. So Milli Vanilli was ostracized for not really singing or lip sync, whatever it was they're doing. And then you look at artists today, they're not really singing and they're making money. And it's just so the world is such a funny place.
Well, that's
and I forgot which,
It's the kids made it that way.
Right.
So if Milli Vanilli was to make an album now, the kids probably would like it. It was a good vibe. That's the way.
But you see, that's why like now, what I love about kids today, the mindset is to be successful, period. Whether you can sing, whether you can dance, whatever it is you're doing, if you're getting it popping, that's what it's about. It's not back in the day, it was like, nah, you got to be the writer, or he didn't write this, or he didn't do, like, people were really stressing.
You're a lyricist, you wasn't an artist.
Right.
To write your own music, you wasn't an artist.
Right.
You had to, you know, of course you still had ghostwriters, but it wasn't as bad as now. Now everybody's a ghostwriter for somebody. Or you have certain people that can write their own stuff. Other than that, it is what it is.
But I just think the foundation has to be success, period.
Yeah.
Period. Like that, like, but some of us, the ego, like we have to be the man. We have to be the one. We have to be, and that's why I think sometimes that price where people commit suicide, where people go above and just overreact because they feeling less than. Because you put all this stress on being something that like sometimes just being present on this earth is a blessing more than money, more than anything, because we all can be of service. Like I don't necessarily agree that money really makes somebody more valuable than somebody else.
Yeah,
That's just my opinion.
It always go back to the power of the dollar.
Yeah, it does.
It
does. But when you hear some of these people that have a lot of money and people are like, oh yeah, he said this, I'm like, he's still an idiot. That's not cool.
Right.
Huh?
Well, let's get into the topic of the day. Summer stresses. There's a lot of stress when it comes to the summer. We are heading towards the summer. There's a lot of stress put on me.
Really? name some of the stresses.
To me, the number one stress is women in summer dresses.
Huh?
I said women in summer dresses are the number one stress.
Yes. Yes. Like I said, you break your neck, and if you married, you go home and you're gonna get your neck broken.
That's it. What's the more summer stresses in the summer to worry about?
Making sure you stay above your finances during the summer, because sometimes businesses slow down. Things like
outside. Everybody's outside. No one's home. So digital wise, we're losing. Definitely, everybody's losing.
Definitely spending more money in the summer, just
vacation.
To be out, Yep.
So there's a lot of different things that are going to stress people out there.
Yeah, a lot of distractions in the summertime too. When we take them clothes off.
The beach.
Yep.
That's the main distraction.
Yep. Gotta stay focused.
Definitely want to say, one of the biggest distractions is, the reason why I say that is because they're spending way more summer.
Right.
Which causes problems for this family.
Yeah.
The reason why, because, now you're going above and beyond it. Camp right now, $1,000 per kid. Some places. So now you want to put your kids in camp. It wasn't like back in the days. I think you had camps were close to like $100. Or some of them was free. So you had, things to keep your kid occupied in the summer. It's not like the kids are running the streets because everything is can't afford it.
Right.
So the stresses that you have to focus on in the summer is gun violence. Because now you got everybody outside, these kids. I'm still stuck on how these kids get these guns. I'm trying to learn this system and understand like how a these kids getting guns. Right? With your kids out there, you have to worry. I know I'm worried about mine every time they walk out.
I'm worried also too in the summertime because these kids are so addicted to these devices and that just to keep them busy off devices, being like active, being maybe swimming, but swimming you paying a price. You're paying a price, and when you put them in camp too, you're paying a price. But I don't give my kids devices during the school week though, so they don't really. But I also don't want them on it the whole summer either. So it's like a delicate kind of trying to balance, life without a device.
You give them any type of free play?
Huh?
You give them any type of free play?
Free play, you say?
Yeah, which is devices like they have a certain time that they can play with the device.
Oh no, they get it on the weekends.
Okay.
right? But then in the summertime, there's no school, so like that's the thing. They do well, and I'm blessed. Thank God my kids do really well in school, so they if the grades drop, they lose their devices, but at the same time, I just don't want them on their devices all the time. So it's like, how do you balance that out? But then I also remember when we were kids, oh no, you playing video games, you playing and now if you play video games, you could be a millionaire playing video games.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? So
Yeah,
it's
you see,
like,
so you see our parents messed us up from being millionaires. I just want to
right,
say this.
right. I could have been a
Go
professional.
outside. Remember? Go
Yep,
outside.
yep.
I pushed
Never
us outside.
never mind. I'm trying to beat Mike Tyson on Punch Out. You know what I'm saying?
Facts.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and now people making so much money playing games. So I keep that in mind. And I try to tell my wife too at the same time that we got to give some leeway, because you never know if your kids are good with technology. I don't want to. It's like, it's delicate. It's like, how do you balance the scales with it? Instead of just overcompensating, be like, nah, it's too much.
Yeah.
My daughter wants to create a YouTube page, and I'm for it. I'm like, okay,
Yeah.
let's
Well,
go.
yeah, my 7-year-old, they want to do a YouTube page so that they can play video games on it because they watch Minecraft all day.
Yeah,
When they're home, some kids like to watch cartoons. My kids like to watch Minecraft.
right,
So they're like, when are we gonna be old enough to have our own YouTube page that we could play games on?
right.
And I'm still trying to figure that out myself. Because I
Well,
feel like at 7, you shouldn't about. I think their focus should be just mainly learning, school, reading, writing, normal stuff.
right.
Am
So,
you feel like I'm following my same parents' pattern by saying no to that? Like, that's the big question.
well, the thing is, I posed this question to my daughter today. I said, hey, what is the purpose of your YouTube page? Why are kids going to tune into you on your page? What is the message that you want to send out to the world as you navigate daily on your YouTube page? What are you creating? What do you want to create? And she didn't answer me. And I said, don't answer me right away. Just give some thought and come back. And when you give me a good answer, we'll get it going. Because then you have a purpose and you stick into your purpose. You're not just having a YouTube page to be like, hey, I have a YouTube. Because this could be a thing like, oh, I got a YouTube page. Do you have one? Like, going to school bragging.
Yeah, yeah, and that's very true. Because and you just gave me some thoughts on it. Because at the end of the day, like I told him, like I have a whole network. This is your legacy.
Right.
And I want y'all to take part in it.
Right.
So I definitely don't have a problem with it, but I have, to me, once again, it's 7.
Right.
You got a lot of time already.
Right.
For you, I'm worried about one of your sisters or your brother picking up something, coming podcast or taking the network to the next level, or it's nationwide or syndicated all over the world. These are the things I want them to take.
But then on the flip side, also, I just don't want my kids to be so. This may sound weird, but I don't want them to have too much responsibility too young.
Mm.
There's a responsibility. Like I said, they don't see it, but
But
there's a response.
responsibility when you were young?
Huh?
Didn't you have that responsibility when you were young? Maybe not that young. But
No. What I'm saying is, like, something that may start out as fun, but then when people like it, they want more, and then you don't want to do it no more.
yeah.
But then you have an audience that's waiting for you to do it, and you may be getting some financial money, but then you feel like you owe it to them, or you feel like there's a responsibility that comes that none of us are going to see, because we don't to be prepared for success is for some reasons easier for us to prepare more for failure than it is for success. And what comes with success is like, oh, you can you just stop? Can you just walk away? Can you, when you get to a certain level, can you? And that's the other side to these things that these kids, because they're 9, they're not gonna know. They're just gonna have fun and do it. But once you are out there in the world and you're projecting these messages and people are tuning in and they're paying you money, it becomes a responsibility. It's not like, you taking out the trash or cleaning the dishes at home. Like that's yeah, that was what I grew up doing.
Yeah.
But there's a price for fame. There's a price to be a celebrity. There's a price, and the thing is, like, when you're out and you're with your family, but everybody knows who you are, you're not going to know what that feels like. And that may not be what you want. You may want privacy. You may want to sit down with your family, but you don't know that that's what's going to come with having your own channel.
That's the stress we go through.
Huh?
There's definitely the stress we go through.
Yeah, like you can't put that genie back in the bottle. Like once you're
Definitely.
out there, you out there.
Definitely. So how we gonna close out tonight, man?
Man, it's already time to close out. Wow, I feel like we just got started. I feel like we're about to get fired up. Yeah, so listen, I'm thankful, thank God, to have the show, to be on this show, and I look forward to many different topics that we're gonna cover, especially walking as a man in today's climate, and also all the changes from what we grow up, the world of the past, and seeing this world going forward. And it's gonna be very interesting. Yeah, I look forward to doing more shows and having guests. And if you're out there and you're listening and you have something that you feel we could talk about, please send us a message. Let us know.
Yeah, hit us up on the Evening Rush Network at gmail.com. We have more stuff coming with Thoughts of the Man. We're gonna have merchandising, everything. So be prepared. Definitely be prepared. There's always new stuff coming. So I just today's was the first show. We got 1 million more to go.
Yeah.
And once again, more guests, like you said, guests, everything. You want to advertise your business, hit us up, let us know. This is the beginning. So look forward to us doing what we do.
All right.
All right, guys. So
God bless and good night.
You already know. It's the Evening Rush, and it's also What's in the Man. We'll talk to you later.